We're at the point where we just have to have an honest conversation about Dak Prescott. And it was so ironic to see him and Kirk O'Bangs or Kirky O'Bangs or whatever the hell you want to call him, Kirk Cousins, because for the longest time, I called Kirk Cousins the black Dak Prescott. I called Dak Prescott the black Kirk Cousins. Or I called Kirk the white Dak Prescott. I called Dak Prescott the black Kirk Cousins. They were one and the same. They was heads, tails. You flip a coin, you get the other person. But I can no longer do that anymore. Kirk Cousins has bona fides now. Kirk Cousins has shown, especially this season, coming off a torn ACL, that he is a dog.
He got cojones, bro. He got cojones, man.
Kirk Cousins has at minimum been a good quarterback with 3 different franchises now. I can never say that about Dak Prescott. Kirk Cousins has a significant playoff game. The Miracle in Minnesota, even though that wasn't him, but whatever. We ain't going to say that. My bad. What he does have, though, is coming back from 33 points against the Colts. Like, we're seeing him transform the Atlanta Falcons that have been in the dumpster for like the past 6 years. He comes to your team and what he says, bro, he builds people up. He lifts people up. Dak can't do that. And I don't blame Dak for that. He is who he is. But we got to be honest. Dak is just a quarterback. That's it. He is literally mid. He's mediocre. He's middle of the pack. He's middle of the road. However you want to fucking slice it, that's who he is. And it's not Dak's fault. Dak just happens to be the quarterback of the most popular franchise in the world. The most wealthy franchise in the world. He didn't ask to go to the Cowboys. He didn't ask to be drafted there. But he did ask for a $60 million contract so we could get in his ass. But watching him today, and I've been watching Dak since 2014. I've watched damn near every single game that Dak has played. I know who he is. I know everything about this person at this point. But what I did not know until today was, I think he peaked. I don't think he's in his physical prime anymore. If everything isn't perfect for Dak, and that's how it always was, but right now, and it's really true, if everything is not perfect for Dak Prescott, you get what you got today. You get, let me pull this shit up. You get 133 yards on 18 and 24. You get dinking and dunking. What is that, like 4 yards per attempt? That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
Hey, man, my dog had donuts, dipping them in coffee all day.
And mind you, that is with him having an incredible play on a 20-yard pass where he avoided the rush on 3 different thugs. You take that play out, it's like 3 yards per attempt, dog. He is washed physically. He could still throw the ball where he needs to. He could still get the ball off when he has to, but he doesn't have the elusiveness that he used to. He doesn't have the burst that he used to. He doesn't have the mobility that he used to. And if you take that away from him, if you take that part away from him, and he was never an elite Peyton Manning level, Tom Brady level dissector, processor. He was a really good processor, but he wasn't at the top level. You take that away from him, you take his physical prime away from him, you get this version of Dak. And this nigga just signed a $60 million contract. It is so... I jumped ship at the perfect time, baby. Let's go.
Well, you know, Herbie, I think that's one of the things that is really... Okay, shout out to Black Guys. Fuck with you. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate showing love.
Let's go. Let me get some of these comments, man. Black Ice again with facts on Dak. Listen, I know who Dak is, bro. How about them Ravens from my boy Dom? Thank you, man. Thank you for shouting out my team, Dom, man. Real friend, bro. I appreciate it.
Dom, you done with the Dolphins, huh? You not feeling us today.
Yeah, how about them Ravens, man? Come on, man. Come get drafted, man. Come get drafted, man. You feel me? And then this one right here, I want to focus in on what Black Ice is saying, right? Because this is just, he said what I said in 3 words, bro. I said a whole bunch of jargon, a whole bunch of nonsense. This is the point in 3 words. Dak is not special. That's it.
Simple
That's
as
it.
that.
It's that simple. He's not. And the reason why, and it took this game, it took the person that, it took him going against the person that I said was his counterpart, was that it really drove home that point. Because Kirk Cousins isn't special either. But Kirk Cousins has intangibles. That's what all of the difference is.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins can't even throw off his fucking leg.
He got dog in him, bro.
He
like
got
that?
dog in him.
He
That's
got that
the
dog.
only difference. He got dog in him.
He does.
Kirk Cousins was never more mobile than Dak Prescott. They had comparable arms. They had similar situations in a lot of respects.
Yeah, true that.
But
they both were drafted as backups. So yeah.
But 3 years ago, Kirk made a line of demarcation on who he wanted to be as a quarterback. And he said, you know what? I'm going to just stop being the person that y'all think I am, and I'm going to be the person that I'm going to be for the rest of my career. Good, bad, or whatever. And that is somebody that actually pushes the envelope, actually changes the narrative, actually, when the game is on the line, does what needs to be done. And we've seen that for the past 3 years. Yes, he got hurt last year, but that last season he had when he started with Minnesota, he was almost elite.
Yeah.
I could never say that. He was borderline.
Yeah.
I could never say that about Dak Prescott, even at his height. Yes, you could look good when you have the best O-line, arguably of all time. Yes, you could look good when you have maximum peak, all-pro level Ezekiel Elliott. Yes, you could look good when you have a tight end. You have Des Bryant. You have all of these sets of receivers. Of course. But we pay you $60 million to elevate. We don't pay you $60 million to sink while the ship is sinking. You asked me why I gave up on these niggas, bruh. It's because of him. It's because of him. Like, that's what it is. Bruh. The last straw for me was, am I really going to ride with these bum ass niggas? That was the last straw, right? Like, hey, when you have to ask yourself that question, you're done. They say that people, specifically women, break up with you 6 months before they actually break up with you. I broke up with the Cowboys a long time ago, Rod.
You just prolonged it, huh?
I just prolonged it. I broke up with them a long time ago. I just made it official, man. That's all it was.
Oh, man.
Oh,
hey,
man. So,
man.
All right, let me get your thoughts, though. Let me get your thoughts. How do you feel about the game? How do you feel about the current state of the Cowboys? Because their season, in my opinion, is over. And I really don't know what the future is or what the future holds for this organization as it stands. So what are your thoughts, Rod?
Well, I'll summarize it for you, Herbie. If there was any game on my ticket that got bust earlier that I knew was going to pass, it was me picking the Falcons money line. Like, there was one game I knew that was like, I had no doubts, Herbie. The Cowboys now have the aura of a team, much like how the Dolphins did last year, much like how we will have this year too, of a team that can't get over the hump. They can't get out of their own way. They can't beat the teams they need to beat. And Herbie, the saddest thing when it comes to the Cowboys right now, you're paying Dak $60 million. That means you can't really put much around him. And he has never proven, to your point, like you said, he was always in a good situation. And I think the saddest thing about that is that kind of hurt him, right? Because, Tony Romo was supposed to be the quarterback for that Cowboys team, Dak's rookie season. Now, listen, I know there's a lot of fans out there in football who hate the Cowboys, when I was growing up, even to this day, even despite the fact that Cowboys haven't really done shit since the mid-90s, they still have that hate because it's America's team, and we hear that shit since we're kids. But I was always I like Tony Romo, Herbie. Like I've never been a Cowboys fan, but when I was back in that era, he was one of those second level quarterbacks that I really liked because he was really good. But the Cowboys teams around him were just never up to par. He finally had a team that was up to par for him, and he might have been able to done a little something depending on who you ask. Let me put it in perspective.
The year that Tony actually had the team that he deserved, the team that he probably could have took to a Super Bowl, and I've said it on multiple occasions, I will say this and I'll take this to my grave. If they started Tony Romo in 2014, they are winning the Super Bowl or at the very least making the Super Bowl. That team was so good that Dak Prescott, the person that we know today as a rookie, could win 14 games and go toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers in a playoff game. That's how good that team was. Now that you remove Dak Prescott from that type of situation, that type of comfort, that type of... And again, that's what you want, especially for a rookie. There's no shade against Dak. Like, in that space, you want your quarterback to have an opportunity to grow and have good structure around him as he's learning the NFL, as he's learning the position. Right. No shade. The point I do want to get across is that it showed that he was never special. It shows that he was piece of the machine, not the driving of the machine. He was in the car. He was a part of the car. He was built into the car. He didn't drive it. He didn't have no driver's license.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
This nigga wasn't Lewis Hamilton. No, he was a wheel. He was a fucking generator. Really, the nigga was like a compressor, dog. Nigga really ain't do that much, but he was efficient enough. Like, you need a compressor, obviously. Nigga, you don't want to be hot in your car, so you need a compressor. Yeah, but nigga wasn't what actually made anything go. And we've been tricked because they've won a lot of games, because he's won a lot of games, that for a long time, and it just took to the past 2 or 3 years for people to really catch up and people to really see. We've been tricked, bruh. Nigga had a rabbit in that motherfucking thing. Nigga, that nigga had confetti in that fucking hat. Nigga, the fucking whoopee cushion in that hat, nigga. Mm-hmm. Like, it was nothing of substance of what he was doing for the past 10 years. His whole career, his whole record, all of that shit is smoke and mirrors. Separate his stats from the NFC East and the rest of the league. Lamar Jackson is 27-1 against the NFC.
Yep.
The only way you beat Lamar Jackson is if you play Lamar Jackson and you have an idea how to game plan against him. If you're not used to playing him, he's going to win. Dak Prescott, he only can beat the teams that he plays twice a year.
Crazy.
Because he plays them twice a year. I noticed that. I'm like, wait a minute, dog. This nigga ain't...
And they've been bad, Herbie. And they've been mostly bad throughout his tenure.
Like, this nigga, his whole career is made of glass, dog. Like, if you really, really, really study it, parse it, pick it apart, identify where the bulk of all of his stats come from, it's against the Giants with Daniel Jones. It's against the Washington Commanders or the Washington Redskins or the Washington football team. They've had 3 names already. And then he might have a good game against the Eagles. And then the rest of it is okay. So it was always there. This is who he's always been. And now that he doesn't have the physical traits that he used to have, oh, God, dog. Lord, help me, please for these niggas that still root for these niggas, dog. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Let me get some of these comments though before we move on to the next subject, man. Yeah, man, lemon pepper wings treat my boy right. Your facts. Damo. Let's see what. Giving away Cooper for nothing and turning your nose at King Henry doesn't help. I put it like this, man. I'm happy. I'm so happy that Derrick Henry didn't sign with his team. Like, and he wanted to come here. We did him a fucking favor. He's too good. He's too good for this bum of a franchise right now, dog. Like, he's too good for this bum of a franchise, dog. For real. Yo, Leon.
Yo.
Taz. Hey, Taz.
What up,
Taz,
boy?
bro. Hey, Taz, bro. I ain't trying to put your business out there, bro, but what's up with that? What's up with that HBO, bro? I ain't trying to put your business out there, bro. Just holler at me. Shoot me a text, my big dog. Shoot me a text, big dog. Like, we got to get some straightening, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get some straightening, my boy.